Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 million by 1 million strategy roundtable for entrepreneurs. 1M by 1M, as you know, is the first and only global virtual accelerator in the world. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue. And in support of that mission, we do week after week these free mentoring roundtables. This is the 414th session. It's been going on for 10 years now. And the event is being recorded. You will find the recordings of all prior roundtables on our YouTube channel, 1M1M Roundtables. It's a great body of learning material if you want to go listen to, you have time, and if you want to listen to a bunch of roundtables, you will learn a lot from that. And this one will also go up there. If you're live tweeting the show today, please use hashtag 1M1M. And our Twitter handles are at 1M by1M and at Romana. We publish a huge amount of inspirational, educational, informational content. It's a very rich channel, very popular for a long time. And this is a roundtable, not a broadcast. So we want you to participate as much as you would like to. So please make a note of these numbers. I will put the slide back up a bit later in the program when we are ready for you to call in. But note that you are very, very welcome to ask questions, engage in any form that you would like to. Now, we are going to start with 3 entrepreneur pitches. There are 3 entrepreneurs on the call, and they have sent their slides in. For you, I have a little bit of expectation setting. Remember, this is a safe working session. So you should feel completely safe to discuss whatever issues that you are dealing with, and I will do my best to help you along so that you can, quote unquote, accelerate your process and find answers to roadblocks, basically. Now, one thing I want to emphasize is that it's okay that if you disagree with my feedback, especially if you get feedback that is counter to what you were thinking. All I ask is take that feedback and think about it, because what you get here is based on, years of experience and pattern matching. We've seen entrepreneur after entrepreneur go through their journeys, and we've learned a lot of what works, what doesn't work. So that's what I will be giving you feedback on the basis of. One thing you should keep in mind is that not all businesses can raise money. Not all businesses should raise money, and raising money does not guarantee success. This is a fact. It is not negotiable. The statement that I just made is a fact. Okay, we're going to go to Rahul Sharma, VedaJunction from Dallas, Texas. Go ahead, Rahul. Please unmute your line and tell us what you're working on.
Hi. Hello. My name is Rahul Sharma, and I'm the founder of VedaJunction. VedaJunction is a subscriber and facilitated learning network. You can go to the next slide, please. Okay. This is a little older picture of mine. I'm the CEO and founder of VedaJunction, and the other co-founder, Ken Graham, is based out of New York. He couldn't be on the call today, but he's a retired superintendent in a top school in Long Island, and I'm a former Deloitte consultant and with more than 8 years experience in education technology. And we have a tech team based out of in India. So basically, as most of us know, the majority of the students don't learn very well in group. And if we ask any teacher about their best day of teaching, and they will tell us that they want to make a difference in the life of an individual child. The public schools were designed to educate large groups of students, but not individually. And majority of these students do not learn well in. And as per research, more than 30% of the schools have students that require some form of tutoring. There are problems with the standardized content and lack of ability at the part of the students, and lack of ability at the part of the teachers to focus on individual students in a big classroom setting. So most of these students they don't get access to individual education or learning plans. Imagine if each of these students could have access to a personal tutor, which could help them, achieve mastery. Wouldn't that be great? Next slide, please. That's where we come in. We solve the problem of schools' failure to educate students to mastery levels by providing an intelligent AI-based, personal tutor and DIY tools which empower these students to learn at the choice of their time and place, and on a suitable pace and on a customized path recommended by these tutors, so that they can attain mastery and improve their competency skills. Next slide. So VedaJunction is a product which provides the do-it-yourself tools, which is sort of a mini LMS with curriculum mapping tools, content authoring tools, intelligent analysis, and system recommended learning plans. We offer a marketplace for authors where users can go and buy. Authors can put in their structured content, and users can buy that. We offer a community sharing for user-generated content, and we offer done-for-you tools for the users where they can, just go in, select different authors' course sets, and create a system recommended plan by their virtual or intelligent tutor, which teaches them to a level which they want to achieve, and that's the solution we offer.
So let's stay on this slide for a moment. I think this is one second. Maureen, have you muted whoever is generating the echo? All right, good. So Rahul, the question that I have here is, you're saying that there are authors who are going to be providing their content, and you have an AI tutor. So what is the interface between the AI tutor and the content that people are bringing in, the user-generated content or the instructor-generated content? Are they plugging in their content in a specific format that your AI tutor can work off?
Absolutely. We have, this is a patent pending solution. We have filed, we have a specific structure. That's why I call it, this is a structured content that's shared. It's not a blog or a one-page document or PDF file or an image. The content which the authors or the parents put in, it's or teachers put in. It follows a structure. There's a curriculum mapping tool. They map the curriculum, create the curriculum first. We have everything is mapped to learning outcomes from different Common Core or user-generated learning outcomes, and then they author it, and the intelligent tutor picks it up and learns the user's profile and learns the content's profile to come up with these recommended learning plans.
Okay. All right.
So as I said, using these DIY tools, whether they're authors, teachers, or parents, they use a curriculum map, online notes, e-learning sets, and different evaluation resources, quizzes to create individual learning plans. And and these plans are mapped, like I say, learning at their own pace, time, and place. So all these four particular indicators are filled up. So there's a daily learning plan. It tells them what they have to, where they have to learn, at what time they have to learn, and and the whole learning plan is a path that's generated. Once the system learns enough about the tutor, it recommends the pace for each of these notes based on their learning abilities. Now the authors, the parents and teachers, they don't have to create their content. They can use it from the community. They can share it with others, and they can buy it from the marketplace. And remember, this is not an Edmodo where you can put it in any format. This is a structured, there's a structure which is patented by us, in which these learning plans are created. So what is eventually bought from the marketplace or shared to the network is a learning plan. Next slide, please.
Okay.
So like I said, there's a community network which is free to share. Example, one of our target segments is homeschooling, which is a pretty segment, which requires a lot of help right now, and there's a lot of investments going on there. So one homeschooling parent can share with another one in the same area, and then imagine how much work they save for each other. And then there's a marketplace where authors, all the retired teachers, they can put in, not creating different blogs or scanning their notes. They create learning plans. They recommend plans based on their general assumptions, and which our intelligent tutor modifies according to the learner's profile. Next slide, please. So again, this I have spoken about. Once there's enough information about the content and the learner's profile, using mastery and reinforcement learning algorithms, the intelligent tutor comes up with the specific path or the learning plan for the learners, and it keeps on modifying it till they reach their competency level. So our target segments initially in phase one are homeschooling and school-enabled tutoring, where we sell directly to the parents. And this number, it's about 5 million users. This is an available market. These are the users which are currently available to sell this software to. And on an average, each homeschooling parent spends about $1,000 a year. And even if you get about 300 or 400 out of that, for the tool we provide, not just the learning plans, but a lot of administration, reporting, and analysis, which they can use for their other reporting purposes and record keeping purposes as well. Next slide. So our business model, it's a recurring subscription model for learners, parents, teachers, and tutors. The subscriptions are, if there's a tutor, they can ask the students, the parents to subscribe. If they are parents, again, they themselves have to subscribe. And the learners, basically at this stage in our phase one, we are focusing on K-12, 6-7-year-olds to maybe 14-15-year-olds, where a lot of parent interaction is needed. There are 3 packages to choose from. One is DIY tools, and the 2 packages belong to the done for you tools, in which all the content is already pre-populated. We also offer all the authors that put in content, or even if parents become the authors after they have created enough course sets and learning plans. There's revenue sharing model. For every download, they get revenue from the marketplace. Next slide, please. So this is something which obviously I will discuss once I finish my slides. But initially we are focusing on social media marketing, and then the other co-founder, Ken Graham, he's focusing on the school-enabled tutoring. And these are the 2 areas we are focusing on to reach out to our potential customers. And in phase 2, which will be next summer, all the homeschooling conferences and all the school conferences, usually for parents, take place. So we are planning to attend those and exhibit in at least 10 of them, over the next summer.
Are there
our target, yeah.
Are there social media platforms or places where social media on social media where homeschoolers hang out?
Yes, as a matter of fact, you'll be. It was a surprise for us also, but Facebook, Instagram are 2, platforms, although owned by the same company, but they have more than 2 million registered homeschoolers. And when we go and create our advertisement plans, it actively targets the homeschoolers, and we can pick which states we want to target.
That's good news. Okay.
So our target is to reach first 5,000 paying users in the first year, which will get us to about $1 million in revenue. Now our milestones of product development is complete. We have all filed our patents, and currently we are doing beta testing, which is the very advanced stages now in New York with power users, which Ken is handling. These are a set of teachers, parents, and some administrators, who are helping us.
These are free users or paid beta?
These are all free users. These are all by invitation.
Okay.
Okay. Next slide, please. So these are the discussion points. I wanted to get your feedback on, how we should go about our sales and marketing strategy. How to populate our marketplace. Although our model primary focus is on authors, and but should we go with content companies as well? And at this stage, although we have both founders have contributed funds, and which we are using to handle the tech team and doing our whatever marketing we are doing. we would need to raise around, I think, in the next few months. So that's all I have, and hope you liked it.
How do you feed the content? Means to start generating revenues, you're going to need a set of content to get into your platform. So what do you have for that? Are these beta users putting content in, or what's happening?
Yes, that's exactly what is happening. So we have, remember this one, the DIY tool, especially for the two segments that we are focusing on, the school-enabled tutoring and homeschooling, is something where the content is actually created by the parents in the homeschooling setting and by the teachers, because teachers have all their content when they're providing school-enabled tutoring. And the DIY tools especially focus on that, and we pre-populate a lot of the Common Core and other organizations, learning standards, and curriculum maps. But again, the idea in the homeschooling segment, the homeschooling parents choose homeschooling because they want to teach themselves, and there's a major requirement of a tool where they can manage everything in a single place, which provides dedicated learning, but in a home setting, and that's what we offer. In a private tutoring setting, the content, yes.
But in the case of homeschooling, you don't have any customer acquisition benefit. Like a parent creates a course, and it's that parent and that child basically are using that product. You don't get any distribution, where if you have a teacher creating a course, perhaps that teacher can bring in 100 students onto your platform once they create the material, no?
You're absolutely right, but in the homeschooling setting, the idea is to connect. There are different homeschooling associations. Mostly these parents work in groups of 10, 15, 20. The idea is to connect all these organizations. So if a mother or a father is good in creating an English language arts course set for a third grader, a parent in another group might be good in creating a math course set. So the idea is to how do they connect? If there's a lot of duplication of effort, and I think this community is not sharing enough. And it's not just sharing on email. Okay, I have this notes written in a notebook.
So here's the issue, Rahul.
Yeah.
The issue is that you need to have enough coverage of content in the K through 12. You need all the grades covered, and you need all the topics covered, all the subjects covered to be able to do any kind of broad marketing, right?
Yes, we have all the grades covered. We have the curriculum map of few, for example, New York-based curriculum that is used by New York State. We have pre-populated that, and initially we are targeting New York and Texas as two states. So Texas curriculum is still being entered. It's not.
Hold on. For New York, you have K through 12. All covered, New York-based curriculum, all subjects.
We have K-12, K till 8 covered in New York with the curriculum map, not the content, not the learning resources. Those have to be, we provide the outline which is recommended by the New York State. The content, the actual learning resources has to be created by the users.
So the problem you're going to have in raising money right now is that unless there is some proof that there is adoption and so forth, it's going to be difficult to get people to fund you, except for friends and family. So there is a lot of chicken and egg that you have to navigate to get to some level of proof point so that people can start transacting and so forth.
Sure, no, we completely understand, and we are aware of that. We have raised about $50,000, through family and friends, and which is what we are using to get to a level where we have some, we have good number of users to, reach to the point where we can start raising funds.
Yeah. So that's my feedback basically, is that for us to be able to raise money based on where you are, we still have pieces to. So this is something that I tell everybody at your stage, is that this is a stage where you need people to believe in you and your co-founders.
Sure.
And and you know, they have to believe in your ability to execute. Professional investors who don't know you need metrics and need proof points based on which they will invest. So you have to get people who know you to bridge you to a stage where professional investors can look at metrics and look at proof points. Even if it's minimum viable proof points, minimum viable repeatability, they will need to see something in place. For example, you're saying that this is an AI tutor and it can take content and map it into some personalized learning. Where is the proof of that? If I were, you know, role-playing with you as an investor, I would need to see some of this stuff in action to be able to decide whether I want to invest in this or not.
Sure, and we completely understand, and I think I agree with you on that.
What you're doing is very interesting. I think it's a big idea. It's a good idea. If your product works, then I think it's going to be a very interesting business, and we'll be happy to help you further with it.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Samna. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Okay, we are going to Rahul G, another Rahul, and your product is Prackr, or company is Prackr. So Rahul G, please unmute yourself.
Yeah.
There we go. Go ahead.
Hi, Samna. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Yeah. Hi, Samna. Good morning, everyone. I'm Rahul, Head of Products at Prackr Technologies. Let me quickly start with a story how we got started with Prackr. Next slide, please. So we started as an IT services company in early 2000, and by mid-2016, we were one of the leading system integrators and solution architects for business applications in India. So at that time, 2016, we were maintaining around 38 enterprise client accounts. We were official channel partners for 7+ CRM products. We had also built 80+ custom applications and middleware applications for our clients. But next slide, please.
You know, there is a big mistake in your slide, right? Built costume and middleware applications. I was trying to figure out what costume is, and I think it's custom that you're trying to say. Go ahead.
Yeah. Next slide, please. So that's when we observed a serious problem in our clients. So they latently started expressing that CRM tool had turned into a manual data dump yard, and sales team had to constantly coordinate between internal and customers to share data and get things done through help desk softwares and all. And CXOs and managers had hard time implementing, monitoring, and reviewing business workflows through multiple softwares or tools that we had integrated and given them. So that's when, as a tech company, we started understanding, like, when we had built small middlewares and custom applications, that these are the loopholes, and that's when we sat back and looked at the bigger picture. Next slide, please. So then we came up with a solution called Prackr as a customer collaboration platform that enables businesses to complete workflow transactions, customer retrieval, recurring operations in faster, structured, and more efficient approach. And how we are doing that? By connecting customers and staff on a single platform with a novel, robust approach of completing workflows that are designed by the company's management team, and every step goes through acknowledgement, validation, and feedback. Let me run through a quick use case of how it's done. Next slide, please. So our product is divided. Our platform is divided into two products. The first one handling for the customers, that is Prackr Prime, and the second one focusing towards businesses, that is Prackr Biz. And next slide, please.
You have that same problem again. It looks very unprofessional, Rahul. You're costumers. It's very distracting.
Sorry for the typo. Sorry for the typo.
So go ahead.
Yeah, next slide, please. So a customer could contact the support center or the company through any of the channels like social media, cloud telephony, or through any email or any other conventional channels, and the support team then takes the inquiry, or the bot takes the inquiry and pushes the task to related people. So there are pre-configured workflow templates that the system administrator of company does that, and once these tasks are once customer raises a grievance or redressal, he gets a link back with where he can start tracking all the updates from the company. Whereas parallelly, the staff who is in charge of these tasks get list of things that they have to do, and at each point they would have to validate the task, and system administrator can ask very specific questions. For example, in the loan inquiry process, if there is document verification that has to be done. So to say that task is completed, the system administrator could ask the individual or the internal staff that upload the documents to validate that part is done. So at the same time, customer gets a real-time update of what is his application status and can interact with the internal staff, collaborate over chat, and even escalate if the process is not being moved. Next slide, please. So coming to our current customers, we have majorly into banks. We are doing POCs with the biggest banks in India. We have successfully deployed in DBS, and we have a tier 2, 8+ more tier 2 banks, and we are basically a horizontal SaaS product. So we have also deployed in few government projects and automobile brands and home appliance companies. So
Rahul, I have a few questions here. Hold on a second. Are these customers your customers for when you were doing your services work and you had these CRM integration projects? Are these customers from that business, and that you're bringing on to adding this particular product onto their deployment?
Partially, yes. The banks that we have mentioned are new customers that we have onboarded, like one-to-one direct sales. But like the 38 clients that we had, almost like around 25 to 26 of them have directly started using our system.
Perfect.
Our current
Perfect. And they're all paid customers. All these are paid customers now.
Yeah. They are all paid customers. We are doing 2 POCs with the largest national banks in India. Excellent.
All right.
Yeah. So if I could go back to the previous slide, there is value proposition that we have. So our value proposition is to have workflow transaction structured, foolproof, efficient, and faster by keeping stakeholders collaborated and updated to get things done, while giving maximum control to CXOs on transparency, consistency, monitoring, and even configuring their workflow designs. Next slide, please. So our customer acquisition strategy as of now has been outbound direct sales. We have also been selling through our channel partnerships, like we have cloud telephony partners in India and Singapore, and we are also building on the network effect that gets created through the Prime app. So on Prime app, all the businesses that we have given Prackr Biz are listed. So that's how the network effect gets created, and the Prime app users start asking for more companies to be added to our portfolio. So we take their grievance and then share it with the companies, and then they see the value in that, and that's how our strategy as of now has been. So our key partners have been.
What does that mean? I'm sorry, I didn't understand that part.
So in the Prime app, which is customer facing, we have all the businesses listed whom we have onboarded for the Prackr Biz account, like the company account. So whenever they want a new company, say XYZ company is not listed on our platform, so customer can go ahead and still post an inquiry, and that inquiry we will share it with the company, the target company. So that's how they see the value in that, and using that network effect, we are trying to capture more companies.
Okay. So I understand what you're trying to do. You just don't know how to pitch it very well. So learn how to pitch it more clearly. I don't have time to really go through to correcting your pitch, but you do need to learn how to pitch that. I think it's a major value proposition, but you're not pitching it right.
Sure. So our average ticket size has been $9,000. Our current MMR has been $8K and ARR of $94. We have been growing 30% month on month, and our projected ARR for 2019 is $2 million. So that's what we are targeting.
$9,000 per year is what you're looking at per customer?
Annual. Per customer per annum.
And you have to do direct selling? You have to actually visit customers to close $9,000 deals?
Yeah. So that's a part of my question at the last. So I have a problem with that part.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You can't do that profitably. That just doesn't scale.
Yeah. So coming to customer validation and the impact factor, in one of the projects that we had implemented for government, we have been successfully able to reduce 8 days in the reimbursement cycle, which was usually taking 21 days. And by an average, we have increased ratio by 8 tasks at DBS Bank. Like each person is now able to do 8 tasks. And the follow-up calls that come to a bank have reduced 40%, because now customers get real-time updates and they can directly interact with the teams, internal staff. So 40% of follow-up communication has reduced. So in the enterprise spectrum, we are kind of creating a category where it's a combination of CRM and BPM with help desk support. And and we noticed a space where nothing is provided to the end consumer side. So that's where we position the Prackr Prime. And cognitively, we are creating more transparent approach at looking at workflow transactions. So here are a few of my questions. So should we currently focus on upmarket, where it's long POCs and multiple approval processes that take place, but the ticket size is large? So our ARR targets can be reached earlier. But when it comes to mid-market, we require more support staff to handle, and the amount of support or onboarding time is still the same. Like on an average, we are able to close a $9,000 ticket in 2.5 weeks, 2 to 2.5 weeks. So where it includes me demoing to the board and also onboarding few head office customers, head office staff onto the system. So and also
And what is the average deal size in the larger customers?
So staff size has been close to like we for $9,000 ticket, it has been around 160 users.
No, what is the average? So $9,000 is your mid-market ticket size or up-market ticket size?
Mid-market ticket size. Our up-market ticket size is is close
to. What
is
the up-market ticket size?
100K.
100K. Yeah. And you can close 100K deals in 2.5 weeks.
No. That's with upmarket. It's usually like around 6 months to 8 months. Like they do a POC, like what we are currently doing with banks and all. So they need a POC. They'll implement in 4 of their branches, and then they'll roll out to rest of the. It's like pan-India banks. So they are multi-layered.
And what is the competitive scenario here in upmarket and in mid-market in India? What is the competitive scenario?
In mid-market, they are going with multiple integration tools, as I mentioned earlier. Like we used to do those tools and give it to them. With upmarket, they usually used to go with SAP, and they have their own custom softwares built. That again, to some extent, we used to do that. We were into that business. But the end purpose of the problem that I mentioned earlier was not being solved. So once we showed to the CXOs and all, they saw a lot of value in the product, and after the implementation also we have seen the impact factor happening.
Okay.
It's a new perspective of enterprise suite, but yeah.
So what is your burn rate right now?
Right now it's very less, like around $4,000.
$4,000. So you are breaking even at the moment.
Yeah, we are making around $8,000. So 4,000, yeah.
And what does your pipeline look like? If you split your pipeline into mid-market and up-market, what does it look like?
Upmarket, like if you see our 2 deals, like that alone, if the POC gets through, we'll be close to 1 million ARR. If those 2 deals get through, like 2 POCs get through. So the pipeline for upmarket is huge.
But it's 2 deals.
In terms of 2 deals with the POC is already going on, but there are more enterprises that we have pitched the product to. So we have around 6 customers in upmarket as of now, like whom we have approached, and it's in process.
So
on top
2
of
are in POC, another 6 are in discussion but not in POC.
Yes.
And what is the pipeline for mid-market?
So we have a very small sales team. It's like me along with my 2 more guys. So we haven't been able to focus on mid-market. It's all like reference based as of now. So few cooperative banks have referred us to their other colleagues and all. So that's how it has grown. We have not focused. So
and what is your confidence level about closing the upmarket deals that you have in your pipeline?
It's pretty high, but only thing is like it's time consuming.
Everything is going to be time consuming. One way or the other, it's going to be time consuming. Even if you do mid-market, it's going to be time consuming. You just have to set up a different kind of sales channel. See, $9,000 deals, 2.5 week close time, you have to figure out a way to close many of them quickly, right? You can't put in the same amount of time and energy into closing a mid-market deal of $9,000 a year that you would to a $100,000 deal. So the whole secret of mid-market is that you close lots and quickly.
But one more thing that back of my head was like once we are labeled as mid-market software, getting large enterprises would be complicated. What's your thought on that? Like,
it sounds like you have a lot of services. It's not just, you just don't sell products. You have to do services to implement these things, no?
Not exactly. So it's like product only. We have to sit and configure couple of things according to their specific requirement. Apart from that, it's most of the part is DIY.
And these accounts that you have brought on board, they are able to do DIY, or are you doing it for them?
No, they are able to DIY.
Okay.
Like for example, only in upmarket customization could be like we'll integrate their banking system with our software, so wherein their account balance has to be shown. So very specific cases we get in with customization.
So are the upmarket customers of a particular segment?
So our primary focus is right now banking, so which is like largest handler like support tickets and all. So
both upmarket and mid-market is banking.
Mid-market we are also focusing on like we are not focusing, but we have clients in different segments like customer like automobiles and all, procurement services, automobiles. So mid-market is more horizontal, but upmarket is like very specific to banks?
In that case, I would just package them differently. I would package, like, I would kind of create collateral such that you have two products. Basically, you have a upmarket banking product, and then you have a horizontal mid-market product. And just sell those two products separately. And it really depends on what kind of, so let's put it this way. If you can close, what is the time frame in which the two POCs that you have in the pipeline, what is the time frame in which it's going to close, you think? 2 months?
So first quarter, it would be first quarter of 2019, where both the POCs is like, according to the timeline, that's when it will close.
Okay, so in that case, you're going to have to sell a mid-market for the time being, because you can't bank on something that is going to close in that long a time frame. And you know, it's binary, right? If a $100,000 deal falls through, then how are you going to keep going, right? So you're going to need to close, you know, a certain amount of mid-market in the meantime. So package your upmarket product as a banking product and keep pursuing the larger deals, but you have to keep a certain pipeline of mid-market deals going for the time being. And this strategy may change after you have enough banking reference customers and you have a good sense of the closing probability and you have created some brand in the banking sector such that you can create upmarket deals efficiently and more predictably. But right now you haven't closed any of them, so you're going to need to...
we have closed one actually, DBS, which is a Singapore bank. So we have closed that. So they have successfully implemented, like they have rolled out in their branches and they are using for Forex services. So yeah, it's been well.
Right. So my point is, you're going to. What is the cash situation? How much cash do you have?
It's like along with the deliverables, it's close to 60K is what we have.
60K is what you have, and your burn rate is 4,000 a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and you have 60K plus you're bringing in 8K every month, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So here's what I suggest: you put most of your package the banking solution as a banking solution. And sell the banking solution as your primary strategy. Maybe hire one salesperson and pursue a mid-market strategy to keep the revenue going on and growing until you get the banking business to scale. But it sounds like your best bet would be to build a banking software company, large upmarket banking software company.
Okay.
At least for the next couple of years, you would get to probably 5 million, 10 million in revenue just by selling the banking solution.
Correct. Also, like, wanted to understand how does which channel works for upmarket CXOs in the lead generation engine. So how do we work on that? Like as of now, it's all been references or leads that I've got.
Direct. You have to go direct. Network. You have to contact them, contact the bank CXOs, and contact them directly.
Sure.
Which is why reference customers are very important. All this is going to get smoother as you get reference customers in that segment. If you have a bunch of banks that are your reference customers, sales cycles are going to be smoother because when you approach the CXOs, you'll say, hey, we are already doing this for such and such bank successfully, and here are our reference customers. Can we do this for you? And that will speed up things. But to get there, you have to close some deals and get those reference customers. But you have one right now. So you can, for the moment, you can use that as your reference customer until you close the next few. But it seems like the healthy, interesting business that is going to scale to a certain extent is going to be the banking software business.
Sure. Right from the beginning, we had designed the system so that it's horizontal and adaptable by any business, but we have seen more traction and like more use cases where the interaction level or collaboration is more complicated in case of banks. The workflow is more complicated. So that's where we create high value to that segment.
And that's always the case. You know, you get the beauty of these vertical-based packaging and so forth is when you understand the use cases where you're getting traction, it's easier to sell around those use cases, right? When you go sit down for discussions with bank CXOs, you can talk about those use cases where you're making really serious impact, and that's how you sell.
Sure.
That's how you compete.
Sure. And like being a B2B2C SaaS product, like defining the TAM value has been tough for us. Like, what's the best approach?
You're not a
Is it like value
B2B2C SaaS
proposition?
product. How are you a B2B2C SaaS product? You're selling B2B SaaS to banks. So how are you a B2B2C SaaS player?
So our Prackr Prime product, which is like the customer facing, we have plans for that as well. So on a later stage, we want to make that peer-to-peer, and we want to have contextual ad-based revenue from that as well. So
I wouldn't worry about that right now. I think a B2B SaaS is a very clean business model. It's very popular in India. It's very popular worldwide as a business model. Don't complicate life.
Sure. And
the simpler you can keep,
Sorry?
The simpler you can keep your business model, the easier it's going to be to scale a sales team, because you know, if you right now you have one bank as a customer, you have 2 POCs, you have another 6 banks in discussion, but you're going to be soon selling to 100 banks, 500 banks, you know, 1,000 banks in different geographies, and the easiest way that you're going to scale that, you have to train salespeople, you have to, you know, to establish a lead generation process, a sales process, and so forth. By the way, we use a methodology called Sales 2.0 for this purpose, which is our own methodology. But the point is that scaling is easier if things are less complicated. The minute you complicate matters, scaling is going to be harder. Repeatability is easier when you have a simple process. So you have to, you know, keep that in mind.
Sure. And
B2B is a wonderful business model.
Yeah, for sure. So I wanted to know feedback on our value prop and fundability.
It's really going to be a matter of velocity. What is the sales cycle that you can establish, and can you see what are VCs looking for? VCs are trying to figure out whether you can go from 0 to $100 million in 5 to 7 years. And what kind of repeatability can you show? What kind of velocity can you show? What kind of, I mean, does it look like that you can grow at a fast pace? It sounds like you can close deals, which is great. Question is, can you? What is the TAM? Is it a large enough TAM? And calculate your TAM purely based on B2B SaaS business model, but you need a bottom-up TAM analysis. So what is the size of, what is the TAM, and what is the velocity at which you can grow? If you can establish both of those as large TAM, high velocity, billion plus TAM, high velocity, you're fundable. Now, your pitch right now doesn't address that question. So I don't know whether you're fundable or not, but let's do the homework, let's do the analysis and figure that out.
Sure. Thanks for the insights. Yeah, thanks.
You're very welcome. Okay, Bruce, you're up next. Bruce Tabachnik from Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes, good morning. My name is Bruce Tabachnik. I'm founder of a company called CashWorld Automation. Next slide, please.
All right.
CashWorld Automation is a business process automation company. We develop solutions for retail industry that help reduce the cost of operation and therefore improve bottom line for retail businesses. We have a number of segments that we develop products for. Today's presentation is focused on front counter cash automation solutions. Next slide, please. With this product, we're targeting BRICS countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, which is the largest cash economies in the world, and where they have cash as a method of payment is used in 95% of retail transactions. This slide shows a Central Bank of Russia estimates about 10 trillion rubles in circulation by year 2019, which is $172 billion in circulation. Sberbank is the largest bank in Russia. They indicate that their cost of cash flows provisions as well as cash handling is combined about $1.2 billion a year. And both of them are indicating that they are looking for effective and inexpensive modern technologies to meet the growing demands of currency circulation market, meaning to help automate those processes and reduce costs. Next slide, please. In India, for example, an article in Times of India indicates that cash has gone up since the demonetization, which was done last year. This is against the government of India objectives of reducing the use of cash and moving everybody onto the electronic payments. Also, according to RBI, Reserve Bank of India, the counterfeit currency increased by 20% by year 2017. I have a business case for India later on in a presentation, and I'll talk about that. Next slide, please. So what are we trying to solve? The problem is the frictional cost of handling cash, and for the what's called end-to-end cash cycle. Cash is moved from the bank through the armored car carrier to the retailers, put in their back office safes, and then the cashiers, mainly in the front counter POS systems, and they, at the end of the day, they need to take the cash that they collected as part of the sales and move it back into the back office safe. CIT or armored car services comes in, periodically picks up the cash and moves it to the bank or deposits in the bank, and this process repeats. In every point, there's many touch points where cash is counted, guarded, and validated. And here we summarize some of the issues with handling cash. At the POS, at the front counter, there's a lot of miscounting of cash, employee theft, counterfeit currency, slow transaction turnaround time, decreased employee productivity. Back office safe, high labor costs to count cash and consolidate end-of-the-day deposits, and a lot of labor costs associated with that. CIT costs, high cost of armored car services. Every time they come to retailer to pick up cash, it's costly to retailers. A high cost of treasury management services to offer those services to retailers. Next slide, please.
So I have one question. So is your system going to filter out the counterfeit currency during the point of sale?
Every bill is validated for counterfeit in real time, and every bill that's detected to be counterfeit is rejected as part of the transaction. So no longer any counterfeit currency can be expenses as a result of accepting counterfeit currency can be incurred. So what is the solution?
How do you do that?
Well, we have a equipment called a currency recycler. It's a device that when it scans the bill and uses embedded software to validate the counterfeit, the currency, it's approved by the banks, it's approved by the government to validate the counterfeit. It's the equipment, similar equipment as used in the ATM machines or in the banking automation equipment. We're leveraging off-the-shelf components that are approved by the
you are, form factor-wise, what you're selling is a hardware equipment to retailers for handling cash.
For handling cash, with our software, our solution is called drawerless POS system. As the name suggests, we eliminate the cash drawer from the POS system and replaces it with the intelligent cash safe that sits underneath the counter, and it integrates with the POS system. And each time there is a cash transaction, a cashier receives cash from the customer and inserts it into this intelligent safe, accepts every bill, validates for counterfeit, then computes the change and dispenses the change, such that cashier doesn't need to do it manually, and that cashier doesn't touch the cash at all. There is no cash drawer where they have all the intake of cash. They cannot access the cash. The intelligent safe does the counting, sorting, and dispensing change. And as a result,
so there's some sort of a window through which the customer is putting the cash into this system, and the system absorbs the cash and does what it does internally, and the cashier doesn't touch anything.
Doesn't touch anything at all. Cashiers, at the end of the shift, cashier doesn't need to count cash and consolidate the end of the day shift. It's already counted, sorted, in process. So all the savings associated with automating, so our value proposition is improve efficiency and accuracy, human error reduction, reduction of counterfeit losses, elimination actually, robbery deterrence, reduce theft and shrinkage, improve accountability, real-time view of cash, less CIT services required, reduce transaction turnaround time, improve employee satisfaction, ease of serviceability, advanced features perfect for global markets. This
what is the status of the product? Is the product ready?
Ready, it's operational. It requires a little bit more QA to, run it through all the limit cases and make it robust. But we have a working system. We have two models, standard model and high availability model. The standard model has one currency recycler and one coin recycler. Recycler means that the cash is accepted by one customer and given back as a change to another customer. So the cash is replenishing itself such that they have to replenish the system with cash less often. Now, the high availability model, as you can see, it's double of each recycler. Therefore, there's a high capacity, double the capacity of cash, which means it's targeting larger retailers. Additional feature, which is very competitive advantage of our system, is the redundancy mechanism. We listen to our retailers that tells us we have this traditional cash drawer, which is the mechanical box, and it works always, and it's been around for 100 years. You wanted to replace that cash drawer with what looks to us is very complicated device. We are very concerned about reliability. What happens in the middle of the day? We have a line of customers standing and suddenly the system fails. What will happen? We will lose customers. So we listen to our customers and we will develop what's called dynamic redundancy, which means if a component fails during normal operation, the system fails over to the next available component and without disrupting the operation. So the business process is not disrupted. So who are our competitors? As you can see those names, you might not know those names, but those are biggest players in this space, multinational companies. We believe we have a competitive advantages. We have IP, a number of patents that were awarded in US. We have dynamic redundancy, non-disruptive serviceability, which means service can come in and replace components without powering down the system, which means cashiers still can service customers while they're replacing components. We have ATM interface. As you know, there is a cashback service available in US, but now laws were enacted in Russia and France to allow cashback service to be provided at the front counter. So we have this interface. Currency exchange services, we have another option, multi-currency. And integration with existing POS systems prevents the disruption to retailers when integrating this kind of solution. Next slide, please. So we have a number of competitors are coming into the market in US with those solutions, those major competitors. But we have patents in US for this type of solution. Next slide.
Do you have customers?
No, that's what I am presenting right now, and I will describe. We need to validate the system in a marketplace, and as a result, so if you go backtrack one slide, please. So I want to talk about the cash handling expense calculator. This is a calculator.
That's okay. Bruce, I would like to, I understand what you're doing. I don't need to know every single feature of this product. Tell me what is going on with customer acquisition.
So here's the customer acquisition. We in communication with a major Russian banking equipment reseller, and they talking to their customer supermarket in Moscow with 7 POS lanes, and they using our calculator, which we not invented. We used retail expert groups provided input as to compute all the processes associated with handling of cash. And they using this calculator to compute the cost of handling cash in their supermarket, and as a result to compute the total cost of handling cash. And in a summary, we see $3,469 per month they spending on handling cash, while the average hourly rate for the cashier is $3. If we compare it to the U.S., this is as if a supermarket spending $120,000 a year on handling cash. With our solution, we believe we can cut this cost in half. Now, the business case for India, the problem in India is that there is a large group, about 1 billion people, that doesn't have access to financial services, so financial inclusion. Government of India doing something about it by distributing ATM system or deploying ATM systems, traditional ATM systems. This is very costly because the infrastructure is not there. We believe with Drawers POS ATM, we can deploy those systems in retail at much lower cost, and as a result, be in line with Government of India objectives of financial inclusion, which means digital onboarding. A customer can come into the store and they can deposit, in addition to purchasing, they can make a deposit into their bank account or get cash back at the same time. So where I am with my business, while bootstrapping with my paycheck for past 5 years. I have patents that were awarded in U.S., copyright and trademark, completed all the prototypes with all core functionalities, everything is up and running, signed letters of intent with several international companies to pilot the solution, and I have a full software development lifecycle in place, and cash handling expense calculator, which is a very important tool to communicate to retailers of what it is we're trying to solve the problem. We're trying to reduce their cost of handling. Now, here's the problem that's arising. Where I am now, I'm no longer able to bootstrap my business with paycheck because I need to be full-time, because I already promised those interested customers, beta customers, to deliver the solution within 9 to 12 months to validate it in a marketplace. So I'm trying to approach technology companies either in acquisition or partnership mode where they, and I'm open for IP sharing and bringing a lot to the table so they can help me in validating the system in a marketplace. I believe once we validate the system in various segments of retail industry, we will have data, direct data from the field, and that would and flash out the functionality of the system, and we'll be able to then approach major resellers with this product, and they can directly connect to their customers. So at this point, I'm
Bruce, there's something convoluted about your assumptions. You know, the way we build businesses is we build a product, we sell the product to the early customers. We don't look for resellers to begin with, because resellers need to see that, you know, there's proof of
right. That's what the beta test of the validation of the product. So at this point in time, I'm in a validation phase. I'm looking for partners to help me validate the solution. I have the IP. I have the letters of intent.
I don't think that's how it works. You have to validate directly with customers before you can get partners to work with you. That's how, at least I know, that's how, you know, resellers work. I don't know if it's different in this industry. I don't think so.
No, I'm not trying to approach the resellers. I'm trying to approach the technology companies in this space that will help me bring this product to market or validate it in the field. Now, step number one, once we compute the validation.
I asked you going to directly to customers and sell the product. Well, I mean, that's how I know how to build businesses, build a product, sell it.
But customers are very, we need to give them the solution. We've identified segments of retail industry and identified beta customers. They don't want to pay for the product. They indicate, we will test it for you. You have to deliver the product, and we will integrate it with our POS, and we'll use it and see how it works for us. And if we like it, then we will provide all the data, and then we will purchase the system from you. They don't want to pay for the product up front because they don't know this is a new concept. This is eliminating the cash drawer. But what we're offering is a very strong business case to help them reduce their cost of operation. Maybe there are customers that will be willing to pay for this, but I was not able to reach them yet. So because I'm bootstrapping with Paycheck and not full-time on this. So at this point, I'm trying to reach a partner with some company that at least will finance beta validation phase. And then, you know, I'm open for equity in my company just to, because I don't have the funds to, you know, deploy it in the field. And I don't know how to go from where I am, which I took it to the most as I could with bootstrapping with Paycheck. And now the next phase is either get partners or angel investors that will believe in this product. And yes, we need to validate it. Nobody wants to buy it until they see the result. I totally agree. And I'm ready to do it. We will show, I can show the demo of it. It's operational, but it's not enough. It has to be deployed in the field, and retailers needs to use it in the real time. And
so Bruce, I think we understand your situation.
Yeah.
Every single new technology goes through a certain adoption phase, and there are, you know, certain types of customers who are early adopters. So you need to find those early adopter customers. They're in retail. Who are the ones who are doing all sorts of automation in their operations? There is all kinds of, in retail, there's a lot of automation going on. People who are rolling out robotics, who are rolling out, find out which retailers are the most experimental in terms of automating their processes and putting out, putting mechanics of automation. And go approach them and try to sell them and get them to pay for the beta. And I mean, I think it's kind of not very useful to have customers who are not willing to pay for beta. That means that they're not really interested in your product. There is a certain segment of customers who are the most adventurous retailers who are looking to automate. That is the set of customers you need to approach.
In line with exactly with your recommendation, I did send email to president of Diebold. You know a company called Diebold, which is the biggest manufacturers of ATM. He responded. He sent management team to my office, and I demonstrated the product to them. Unfortunately for me, they indicated they like the product, but unfortunately for me, this particular company, which is the largest manufacturers of automation, cash automation solution, they in the process of restructuring, they're not doing well.
But that's not a customer. I'm talking about retailers. Your end customer is a retailer. Did I say ATM seller? I said retailer. Who is the most adventurous retailer that is doing aggressive automation? Do your research. You can find out. The internet is a wonderful research tool. You're doing bootstrapping with a Paycheck. You can spend some time, nights and weekends, doing some research to find out who are the most adventurous retailers, and then contact them and explore with them. Are they willing to beta test your product and do a paid beta, because this is not a cheap product to do a beta test on.
Yes, and I have the customers, retailers that have wanted to do it. As I showed the slide, Russian supermarket, they said they want this system. And I tell them that I can do it within 9 to 12 months. But now the problem for me is that I don't have the funds to build it and deploy it there. And I'm looking for a partner or angel investor that We have the customer. They already have it. They already said they want it. They like it. They're already computing their code.
But they want it for free, you're saying. They don't want to pay for it.
They don't want to pay for it, yes, because they want to see the working system already in place.
So what I'm saying is find a customer who is willing to give you the money, an order, for you to build this product for them and test it.
Right.
If they're really...
That's what it's like code. Yes, that's what I'm going to customers, to end customers, to technology companies in this space, to whoever in this space.
I don't think you're listening. I don't think you're listening to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not asking you to go to technology companies for partnership or acquisition. I'm asking you to go to really adventurous end customers, retailers who are doing aggressive automation and looking for innovation. A lot of retailers right now are feeling incredibly threatened. Retail is going through a tremendous upheaval. And the forward-thinking retailers are looking for ways to automate. You need to find who those forward-thinking retailers are and go talk to them and get an order, including advance, to, if they like what you're doing, ask them for an advance so that you can build the product and give it to them in the earliest time frame possible so that they can test the product. And you need to find all the retailers who are doing that. So instead of looking for technology companies, go look for customers, end customers.
Yeah, end customers. So far, I will do more research. So far, I was not able to find retailers that are willing to pay for new technology. They're looking for existing product to be deployed. So I will do more research.
You're not talking to the right people. Retail is going through a tremendous upheaval right now. There are retailers who are feeling existential threats, and they're looking for ways to reinvent themselves. You need to find which retailers have aggressive automation as part of their strategy.
Yes, I definitely will follow your advice. Definitely.
Okay, so focus on customers. Focus on customers who are aggressive technology adopters, and that's where you're likely to find some sort of traction and some path forward.
Yes, yeah, I was thinking in those terms. So far, I was not able to do it because of the bootstrapping with Paycheck. It takes away a lot of time and not enough time to market and achieve, reach customers because it's a problem.
It is what it is. You don't have a choice. Go figure out how to do it. There is no choice.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
So, folks, as you can see, I give very direct feedback, and with the assumption that the reason you are here to talk to me is so that you can get what you need to hear as opposed to what you want to hear. So I don't try to sugarcoat my feedback. I try to give you completely, direct advice so that you can actually do something with it and address the issues that are really the issues that you need to address. So if you like this style of working, bring us more serious entrepreneurs who have appetite for this kind of back and forth, basically. Now, in terms of using the program, you're very welcome to use the program, all of you. If you go to 1Mby1M.com, that's where all the resources begin. You have a blog. If you follow the blog, you'll learn a lot. That's free. There is a 12-volume Entrepreneur Journeys book series. These are case study-based books on specific topics, whether it's bootstrapping with a paycheck or bootstrapping using services or billion-dollar unicorns. There are lots of books that case study-based learning on specific aspects of methodology and specific industry sectors. These roundtables happen every week. You're welcome to come to as many of them as you like. You will always learn things from coming to them or listen to the recordings on the YouTube channel. Our full acceleration program is 1M by1M Premium. There we give you extensive methodology guidance. You get weekly engagement like this we have roundtables, private roundtables for our premium members only, where you get the, whether you call it strategy consulting, coaching, mentoring, whatever, but it's direct project-based feedback. You are using our online curriculum to learn the methodology. So that you can do at your own time. That's asynchronous. That's available to you from anywhere in the world. You use that to learn methodology, and then you use the roundtables to come discuss strategy with me, and that's how we operate. It's curriculum and roundtable, and there are roundtables every week. In addition, you have access to our entire Rolodex, which is a huge Rolodex, and you can use that for business development. You can also use it for financing, but you have to get your ducks lined up to be fundable by my judgment before I introduce you to investors. But once you're there, we have a very large investor network. You can go to the seed capital section of our blog, and you will see interview after interview of investors who work with us, and learn about those investors, how they operate. So just like you're looking for product market fit, you're also going to have to find investor entrepreneur fit. Not all investors are right for all entrepreneurs. There are very specific investment strategies, stage, industry sectors, business models, et cetera, that investors gravitate towards. And you have to find one that fits your particular business. And we try to help you through that process. We have built a large network of investors who work with our companies. And then we also help you get the word out about your business in the media. We do have a lot of clout in the media, so you're welcome to use the program for PR as well. So go to the 1M1M self-assessment on the website. There's a set of questions that you need to ask about your business to develop really robust strategy. And as you are doing that, you may run into questions that you are unable to answer on your own, and you need some methodology training. For that, you can go to 1M1M Basic, which is our curriculum-only option, and study methodology. If you study the curriculum and get the methodology under your belt, it will help you, put one foot before the other, basically. So you can either join the program through 1M1M Basic and just do the curriculum, and when you're ready, you can upgrade to 1M1M Premium. Or you can go directly to Premium, where you do curriculum and roundtables in tandem and make faster progress. That's fine too. There you get the project-based coaching as well. So go to the website, dig around, look at all the descriptions of the Premium program, the Basic program, what to expect, the FAQs, video FAQs, etc., and figure out if this program is right for you or not. And if it is, you're very welcome to join the program. There are descriptions of the curriculum. We are a case study-based program. Over 800 successful entrepreneurs have participated in our case study program and generously shared how they have built their businesses, and all that is woven into the online curriculum. So you learn a lot by standing on the shoulders of people who have done it before. Our methodology is lean, capital-efficient, bootstrapped startups. As far as financing is concerned, we bootstrap first and then raise money, because validated businesses are easier to finance than unvalidated businesses. Very, very, very difficult, almost impossible to fund unvalidated businesses. So that's it. Upcoming free roundtables pretty much every week right now. September, October, we are chock full every week. You have free roundtables. And we have this month, we have one more in-person rendezvous at Cafe Boroni in Menlo Park. If you're local or if you're visiting Silicon Valley, you're welcome to stop by Wednesday, September 26th, 5 p.m. At Cafe Boroni. So now we can take questions. You're welcome to dial in and ask questions, or you can also put in your questions in the public chat, and I will start picking up questions from there. So just give me a moment. I know some of you have started putting questions in. Let me look through the questions and start answering them. Shimantika Kumar, you're sending me private messages. Don't send me private messages. This is a public chat, so put your questions in public chat so everybody can see them. You were saying you're interested in working with me. Can you have one-on-one chat with me anytime, any day to ascertain that your project is something that I can help with? No, you cannot. If you have questions about the program and whether your project is a good fit for our program or not, you can contact Irina Patterson. Her email is irina@1Mby1M.com. She'll be happy to get on the phone or Skype with you and help you assess whether this is the right program for you or not. You do not get to talk to me unless you're a part of the program. If you join the program, then you get slots in the roundtables to come and discuss with me, and I will give you feedback within the framework of the program. Rahul, again, you're sending me private messages. Don't send me private messages. Try to write your questions in the public chat so other people can see. So Rahul's question is, under what category would our product fit in the enterprise space? Should we position our product under existing categories or position as new category when approaching clients? You are doing an enterprise workflow product. So I think it's part of the, the space already exists. I don't think you can define a new category because the category already exists. What you can do is you can, as I said, you can do, by the way, I was thinking your product can be, this is the banking product, right? This is the workflow product you're talking about. You could have the banking product packaged for both large enterprises as well as you could have a separate packaging for a mid-market banking product and focus on a banking workforce flow solution kind of company. Shimantika Kumar, you're saying you have specific challenges that you're not sure that can be solved, chicken and egg. Well, come and present and I will try to dialogue with you. I can't dialogue with you in vacuum with our information about the business. Any other questions, comments? You're welcome to call in or ask your questions in public chat. Either way is fine. Anybody else? Questions, comments? So, folks, I'll tell you one thing. All of you who are struggling with the chicken and egg, entrepreneurship, early stage entrepreneurship is a massive chicken and egg problem. You have to figure out ways to put one foot before the other, and entrepreneur after entrepreneur before you have done that to become successful. So there are many, many, many ways of navigating chicken and egg situations. People do it all the time. That's what all entrepreneurs do. That's what we do continuously in the program, is to figure out creative ways of navigating chicken and egg situations. So maybe you're not convinced that your problem can be solved because it's a chicken and egg, but that's what entrepreneurs do, is figure out chicken and egg situations and how to solve them. Anybody else? Questions, comments? All right, then we're going to adjourn for today, and we will meet you back here next week, and we'll take it from there. Thank you for coming, and see you soon. Bye-bye.